Hey guys, I wanted to give you a critical update warning. Donald Trump, our president, 45, is weighing military strikes against the nation of Iran as we speak. And my sources tell me that this is about to go down over the weekend, starting right now, Friday, Saturday through Sunday. The top generals, the top brass here in the United States, in coordination with our ally, Saudi Arabia and Israel, are considering numerous options on the table. So let's go through those options. Number one is a military attack. A military strike using cruise missiles and various other types of technologies to hit Iran where it most notably hurts. Secondly, a combination of cyber warfare and various attacks that we've seen in the past the United States implement against the government and regime of Iran. Thirdly, increased sanctions. There are now over 100 sanctions on the Iranian government and the Iranian people. It's one of the reasons why the economy has since collapsed. We are looking at hyperinflation in Iran. There are problems with food distribution, water distribution, all of the basic necessities of life. Now, as Donald Trump weighs these options, his top advisors, generals, Secretary of Defense are warning him that this could very likely escalate not just to a sizable war, but it could bring in other countries such as Russia and China. Now, I've been discussing this for over a decade now, and I think one of the common misconceptions is people underestimate the great, grave risk that is Iran and a nuclear-backed regime. This would bring in 1 billion Chinese, the premier of China. This would bring in Vladimir Putin of Russia and could evaporate like a boiling pot of water, the frog syndrome, where it turns into our worst nightmare here in the USA. Now, according to intelligence, Saudi Arabian officials, Mike Pompeo in the region, speaking with allies right now as they've broken all this down, they are not buying the official story that it was Houthi-backed, Yemeni, Iranian-funded rebels, but instead it was cruise missiles of Iran that came and hit Aramco. Now keep in mind, this is also a giant public, soon-to-be public IPO about to hit the global and international stage. And this is about oil. Much like all of our past wars, Iraq and Afghanistan through the years of George W. Bush, fake WMDs, it was all about black gold. And it's one of the reasons Donald Trump has done everything he can to run pipelines and to shore up our own oil reserves here in the United States as we implement new technologies like fracking, etc., in the build up to this war. Now, like many of you tuning in, I'm not buying the official story either. I think it's highly, highly likely that the deep state has pulled the trigger, so to speak, on these actions and what we've seen recently in Saudi Arabia. I personally, this is my opinion, I state it as an opinion, don't buy the official narrative that the mainstream media is spewing that Iran launched cruise missiles. I'm just not buying it because I've seen this time immemorial throughout history, even the great book itself, which shows us the prophecy of what's coming and how these parts of the world will soon lay in ruin. In my humble opinion, there is far too much motive to entertain the idea of a war. And what I think is happening, I think that the deep state is forcing Donald Trump's hand at a very key time right after the mustache. Mr. John Bolton was fired, the neocon warhawk who wanted a certain destiny, a war with Iran, a war with North Korea, and no negotiations. The deep state, in my opinion, is attempting to force Trump into taking action. And we need to understand we are at grave risk today. Again, Iran is a great, very large metropolis. This is a country with high-powered technology and weapons, a country that Barack Obama, basically gave away the keys to the kingdom to, right? We remember the transfer of billions of dollars of cash that they dropped to the Iranian government, trying to structure this very, very bad deal that Donald Trump pulled away from. But we need to understand that these forces at work, what we're seeing happen right now, is so much bigger than 45. It's so much bigger than Donald J. Trump. Now, as I warned earlier in the week, my fear is we're going to see these potential strikes hit or series of the three options of events: cyber attacks, increasing of the sanctions, and it might be a combination of all three that pushes us over the edge and that boiling point. Now, keep in mind, if it is, let's just say we believe for a minute the mainstream media, it was a drone attack or they were cruise missiles. Well, if these were drones that came over, how is it and why couldn't enemies of the United States fly, God forbid, drones into every city, town, state here in the United States? How come they couldn't use those same weapons of war and technology on us? Is this not the next Pearl Harbor moment as we place economic sanctions on Iran? On China, as we fight the new Sputnik moment and the space race against companies like Huawei and these other tech giants, as we battle for total dominance, world control, which seems to be slipping out of the United States' fingers into the East. Again, keep your eye on China, keep your eye on Russia, keep your eye on Iran. North Korea and these other countries, these are proxies of the greater war, all with the all-seeing eye focused on dominating the new order. So what is the new order? The new order is global governance. It's a global United Nations. It's a global army. It's a global currency. And the elites, the ones that are planning set events behind the scenes, the same people that I don't think can be trusted, that are advising Donald Trump to strike at this very moment in our nation's history, are pushing forward this agenda, a certainty in their minds, a mission that must be accomplished before set events transpire and the New World Order agenda is established. I'm Christopher Green. Please, for the love of God, get this video out everywhere. Share it with your friends and family. It is the truth. We are on the precipice of airstrikes. We are on the precipice of more sanctions, cyber warfare, not just in Iran, but here, God forbid, in the United States of America. It is so important that you are prepared. Praise Him. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. Hey guys, I'll keep this short and sweet, but it is so important that you take action today. We have launched a counterattack and we are charging against the deep state and the redcoats that now have just changed color to blue. Support us at AMTV On Demand. We are launching a worldwide syndication and network across television, radio, and new internet technologies. We're building out our multi-million-dollar studio, and it is your last chance to stand up for your rights, your Second Amendment, your free speech, freedom of religion, all the things that we value, that our founding forefathers died and fought for. Click the link below right now. It is your last opportunity to lock in introductory pricing at the cup of coffee price a month of $5.95. In the next couple of days and weeks, as we build this studio of darkness behind me, we'll be launching the largest broadcast, the largest alternative media platform and network that the world has ever seen. The time is now to fight back, to stand up, and support those and those things that you believe in. Click the link below. It's risk-free. There's a 30-day free trial. You also lock in the current pricing before pricing goes up. Again, the time is to act, to stand up, and lead the charge. Click the link below. Subscribe today.